Outside of today's magicians, like David Copperfield, Penn and Teller, and the great David Blaine, the most influential and prolific magician in human history was none other than Ulrich Weitz. What? You've never heard of Ulrich Weitz? Well, then let me share with you his stage name. The great illusionist, Harry Houdini. I'm sure you've heard of him. So now we're all on the same page. We happen to be in the McPhilia Cemetery here at the edge of Cypress Hill Street in Queens. We've decided to come and visit the final resting place. So come along. I invite you to come and visit the burial plot of the great Houdini. For those that don't know, Houdini was born in 1874 in Budapest, Hungary. At the time, it was very fashionable in Europe to immigrate to this place called America. And Houdini, like millions of others, were processed through the Ellis Island facility where he moved to Milwaukee with his family. At a young age, he took to performing. He started off as a trapeze artist and then turned his attention solely to magic. Ulrich was hooked. He knew that magic would be his passion and his career. But he needed a stage name. You see, Ulrich Weitz just wasn't going to work. His boyhood nickname was Elry. The Americanized version of Elry is Harry. Houdini comes from simply adding an extra I to his boyhood idol, Robert Houdin, who was a noted successful French magician. Harry Houdini. As most of us know, Harry Houdini took his magic around the world, mesmerizing us with his feats, especially focusing in on escape. Escape from jails, straitjackets, and yes, coffins. In the 1920s, he turned his attention toward the occult, specifically in debunking mediums and psychics. Due to his training in magic, he was able to expose these frauds that scientists and academics could not do. It's funny because directly across the street, two of the most noted mediums in history are buried at Cypress Hill Cemetery, and Houdini would expose them. But unfortunately, as so many others, Harry Houdini died at a young age. He died from a bursting appendix that he suffered from due to a blow to the abdomen from university student J. Gordon Whitehead. You see, Houdini had boasted that he could withstand any punch or blow to the abdomen as long as he braced himself. Well, when Whitehead challenged Houdini, Whitehead unexpectedly threw 4 fatal blows to Houdini's abdomen. After a few days, Houdini fell ill. He ignored the symptoms, he refused medical treatment, and he died of peritonitis in October of 1926. Thousands of people attended his funeral. Soon after, he was brought here to the final resting place in McPhilia Cemetery. It's an eye-catching sight, of course. As we come into the site itself, it's about 40 by 20. 40 by 20. Of course, these are the footstones of all the family members, including father, mother, brothers, and sisters. Cauldron right in the middle, of course. But the most striking feature of the site is what we would call the headstone. It's set up like a bench, a 3-step tier, all white marble. Kneeling before the name is a mourning figure. Inscribed into the stone, you see Houdini and, of course, his real name, Weiss. Also at the headstone is a beautiful, colorful mosaic, which is the Society of This is the crest of the Society of American Magicians. And it turns out that every November, the Society of American Musicians gather here at the plot and perform the traditional broken wand ceremony. Another thing that I'm really happy and excited about is being able to show you the bust of Harry Houdini. Over history, the bust has been stolen a few times. This is the third bust to be placed at the headstone. So for us to come and visit and to have a bust to show is just great. Of course, I just feel inspired to give Mr. Houdini, a hat, just to give him a little bit more character, while we're visiting. This bust was a gift from the Houdini Museum, which is located in Scranton. The final thing we'd like to show is the actual resting spot of Houdini, which is over here. And I bring this up to you because it is unique and somewhat you leave the site in question. Of course, the traditional stones, which is very common in Jewish cemeteries. Houdini, of course, his birth and death date with the dash, which does have symbolism, meaning what he did in his life between his birth and death date. His lovely wife, Wilhelmina Beatrice, is not buried in this site with her adoring husband, simply because in the will she requested not to be buried because she was not of a Jewish faith, and this being a Jewish cemetery. This has been a great honor and a great treat for me to share this burial location with you. I look very forward to sharing others in the near future. Thanks for watching.